Divineers, and welcome to the next episode of Boost Friend Fridays. I am your host, Melissa, aka Missy Enchanted, and today we have Aladdin's Castle23, or as we like to call him because we're BFFs, AC. Hey, AC.
Hey everybody, we're definitely BFFs. All the content creators out there too as well.
Exactly. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time. I truly appreciate it.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Of course. And I cannot not say that I just noticed your shirt. The fact that you're wearing Genie, I love
gotta
it.
do a little, okay.
Oh
gotta
my
do
goodness! We gotta do a fit check. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
Oh,
Shout outs to the shirt farm, by the way, which is me and
Jay.
Laura Whispers,
Yeah.
one of our favorite clothing designers.
Let me tell you.
He makes a lot of like vintage style
They
designs.
do. So good.
Yeah.
So good. Every time Jay posts like a Hercules shirt, I'm just like, where?
Yeah. Just the detail and the quality, they're so good. They're pricey, but you're already paying money for cardboard, so you might as well accessorize yourself with it.
There you go. So Thank you for the appropriate shirt. Thank you for modeling it. I love that we already got your fit check in for this interview. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So with that, now that we ceremoniously got your fit check, let's talk about how you got into Disney Lorcana. So if y'all, I'm talking to the audience right now, if y'all didn't see my interview with Sarah, Bell's Castle25, she kind of talked about it from her side, but now we're going to listen it from AC's side. So go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I've been playing card games for a very long time, and at the moment, I was currently playing the Dragon Ball card game by Bandai, and that's been going on for like maybe 5 years at the moment, and it's been kind of growing a little stale for me. Like some of our friends were still playing it, but I wasn't getting as much like excitement out of it or that much fun. Like a lot of the times when I would play in the tournament, like I would be done after like 3 games, like 3 rounds. I just didn't want to play. But with Lorcana, for some reason, I just wanted to play for hours and hours. So that was like a big surprise to me. Before I knew that, like we heard the news. I can't remember what article I was reading online or something like that. That the Disney card game was going to be made by Ravensburger, the puzzle company, and it was just this thing that they were going to try. And they had a lot of influence from like Magic. So at least I knew like I never played Magic, but obviously it's been the most successful card game. So I was like, okay, well if they had Ryan Miller, the creator, one of the creators of Magic, and he's been involved for like 30 years. This has got to have some type of impact into the trading card game. And obviously at that time, like me and Sarah were really big into Disney. Like we liked going to the parks whenever we could afford it. And we just enjoyed like shopping and just everything involved with Disney, movies and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. They're actually making a card game. And I tried teaching Sarah the Dragon Ball card game, but it was such it was a hard game to play because they have like 3 paragraphs on the card. So if you could imagine, like some of our cards just has like word or something like that. This is like word times 50. There's so much like words and so much rulings in that game. So it was a little bit difficult for her to kind of pick it up. But the artwork was really cool. So she liked the art. Obviously, she's big into that.
Yep.
So like the foiling, I do give Bandai kudos for that because part of the reason why I like that game is also because of the artwork. It was beautiful. But when I noticed that they're doing the Disney card game, I was like, this has got to be a good transition. And I told Sarah, and she got really excited about it. I said, hey, it's supposed to be like maybe TCG friendly for a lot of people who are haven't played a card game before. It looks like they're trying to aim for that, and it looks like they're going to have some type of competitive play to it. And I was like, oh, can you just imagine like one day we could travel to like Disney World and they would have like worlds there or something like that? Because I was in the trading card game for like almost 20 years, and I'm like, that'd be so awesome, like to have an event like at Disneyland or Disney World, and like I didn't know it was gonna come so soon, like 2 years later. They're already having their own private event. I thought it was gonna be like 5 years down the line because I was like, oh, it takes so much time for this new company to kind of start up, and that's why like I was very hopeful in the beginning because you got to start off somewhere.
Yeah.
But then I got so much like excitement, and I was like so optimistic for it that kind of like I think transferred over to Sarah. And she got really excited. So like my excitement was kind of like bursting out with her. So I think it was just natural for us to try a new hobby together. 'Cause, like, of course we like going out, spend time with each other, but this is like a different thing, like, trading card game. We could be competitive, we could yell at each other in a nice way. So it's like, it's such a good excuse to, just kidding. But yeah, it's like, it's fun, like it's something different. So we decided to jump to that, and we started off at GenCon, and that was our first trip to basically experience what Lorcana was.
Awesome. And as everyone who has even heard of the Gen Con hysteria, right?
Hmm. Right,
Like most conventions, this one was just as insane from like an open doors thing, right?
right, right.
Lorcana helped with the hype, or maybe I don't know if help's the right
Hmm.
word, but people were definitely lined up for this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you mentally recovered from that line? I feel like there's
The crazy
PTSD.
part, I've been to Gen Con a couple years prior for other
Okay,
events,
yeah,
for both the Naruto card game, which I started, and
okay.
for Dragon Ball. So I was experienced with like the long lines, but this line was not like any other line.
Wow.
Like this is even if you had a fast pass for it,
Uh
you'd
huh.
still be waiting a couple more hours because it was the longest line I think in history that they said. It was the biggest like
Wow.
TCG line that they've ever had because
Wow.
they would line up since the beginning. People were waiting, I think, the day before, even like early morning, just for like the first couple spots.
Wow.
And in the beginning, like the lines weren't even like they weren't even organized,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So like
Right.
some people were waiting for a section over here. Like
Yeah.
we have a friend who was waiting in one section, and that didn't turn out to be the right section, so they had to move over. But then they got pushed to the back of the line, even though
Wow.
they were waiting hours. So it was kind of like I don't think Raspberry expected it to be this huge, and the reception of it was pretty big.
Yeah.
And we knew it was going to be a long line, but we didn't know. I think we waited maybe 5 hours or something like that, maybe a little bit longer, just to
Wow.
kind of get a chance to get product. A lot of the
Wow.
accessories were out, the play mats and the boxes, but luckily they had the sealed product, and I
Good.
think it was like limited one box per
Oh,
person.
okay.
It was
Nice.
pretty cool. We were lucky to get that. We waited in line, got like a Mickey pin. I think it was like the original,
The
the one with the Maleficent
Ruby, like, yeah, the
logo pin.
logo. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it was pretty
Nice.
nice, and I think I was just very excited because at that time, I knew I wanted to dive into content creation for the game because I've done it for other card games. So for me, I think it just went by really quick because I was just so excited in the moment. I was like, oh man, I really hope this game goes off. I really hope that there's a big community. I want to make like deck profiles for this game, product openings for the game. Like I had a lot of like big ideas already.
Yeah.
So the excitement for that kind of like weighed on there, where it's like
Yeah.
5 6 hours that went by so fast because I wasn't even thinking about it.
So that actually brings up like two things. Now the first one basically being, my observation of what you just said is you really did get a head start on a lot of Disney Lorcana because of your exposure to TCGs. The fact that
Right.
you were able to, kind of assume based off of past practices with other games that eventually this game would evolve into tournaments, right? In certain
Hmm.
destinations. And you spot on, right? Um,
Sure.
I agree with you. This, even though this is my first TCG, I would agree that the fact that we got a DLC season so early
Yeah. Right.
is amazing, right?
Mhm.
You know, 6 DLCs in North America alone, I think, is more than a lot of us would have probably asked for, whether we're new to the
Right.
game or new to TCGs or not. Um, Now, the other aspect was you had mentioned it, just content creation. So you did start your YouTube channel around the time of Gen Con. Was this because of Gen Con, or you're like, hey, had you had another channel? Like, how did that go in terms of, just kind of starting your Disney Lorcana YouTube?
Yeah, so believe it or not, I actually started YouTube. I think my very first upload was on another channel
Okay.
about 17 years ago.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
a very long time. I'm, I'm already giving tips on how old I am. But my other channel was inspired by an anime that I used to watch, which was Naruto. So
Naruto. Okay. Yeah.
back in the day, it was very popular back in the day.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite characters on there, his name was Rock Lee,
Okay.
and he's basically a goofy character, really funny. He doesn't have a lot of like special powers like everybody else, but he's funny and he works hard and he has his own kind of
Oh.
like, niche or whatever. So
Sure.
I related a lot to that character. So I was like, okay, he's pretty cool. He's unique. He's different. That's kind of like how I like to be. And I just kind of paired that up with my name. So I just called my channel Rock Lee AC. It just worked back in the day. So I was like, okay, it's Naruto. I like it. It's whatever. And then I actually started off with dance content. So like I was a hip hop dancer back in the day. So I would upload a lot of my videos on there if it's like fun videos or
Yeah.
dance performances or workshops that I used to teach. So that was like my platform
Wow.
initially. And then a couple years later, I was like, okay, the Naruto card game came out. I want to maybe record some content for this. And I started off with like recording like deck profiles and binders. Like back in the day, like a lot of videos, it's a whole different platform back then because they weren't
Yeah.
even calling it like content. Like now, like
Yeah.
content's just so popular, but back then it was just like uploading your videos or
Right.
whatever. But showcasing your binders off was really popular back in the day. So like people would upload like if it's Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon, they would just record their binder and they just go through and flip through the pages and say I have this character or that
Right.
character. And people even did transactions through YouTube where they would say, "Oh, I like this super rare. Can I trade it or can I purchase it from you?" So I had a
Wow.
lot of like funny transactions back in the day because even back then you didn't really have PayPal or like all these like different forms of
Right.
payment. So you had to either like send cash in the mail, which is kind of crazy to think about now, or just like I wouldn't even know how. So I'd had several $100s of just transactions to go through the mail, and that was a lot of my content in this beginning was just like trading and selling cards through YouTube, which is hilarious. It's
Wow.
kind of funny.
Wow.
But I thought that was cool. So I was like, okay, showcasing my collection, selling them. That's how I got by as a broke college student,
Yeah.
to sell some of my cards to pay for my other hobbies. And then I just focused more on the content creator side, which is more deck profiles, product openings. So Naruto, I've been doing that for several years. And then I moved on to Dragon Ball, which was also another big part as well for several years, 5, 6 years. And then when that was waning off, then I decided, okay, Wakana's coming out.
Yep.
I kind of want to, make my own channel because I've been doing this channel for so long, and it wasn't necessarily like family friendly.
Sure.
Like Bandai games are a little more toxic. So back in the day, in my immature days, I said some funny words,
Sure.
but I was like, okay, I gotta mature up a little bit and probably create a new channel strictly for Lorcana because I have different audiences for both. So I
Right.
can't have the Bandai toxic community and then also Lorcana lovey-dovey community, in there. So I decided to do that once I realized Lorcana was coming out, and then I
Yeah.
was like, I can go all in. I'll do it for Gen Con. It's a perfect time just to start fresh. I'm going to document it. I'm going to vlog it
Wow.
so that people see how Gen Con was for the first time because I enjoyed vlogging for other card games too as
Yeah.
well. And then from there, we'll just see how it goes. I didn't know what kind of content I'd be doing. I just knew I was used to deck profiles and product
Yeah.
opening and vlogs. So that's all
Right.
I really knew. But now
Wow.
it's like expanded.
Wow. And
But yeah, that's how it went.
I I did not know this. Audience, I'm learning at the same time as you that this goes well before Disney Lorcana, and that's so cool. I mean, honestly, it makes
Yeah,
sense in terms of like the quality of your videos, right? And then like all the graphics, and you have like a soundboard and everything, and like just kind of noises and sound effects and things like that. Things that I don't even
right.
know where to begin,
Oh my God.
honestly. So
I still
no,
got a
that
lot of
makes
work to
sense.
do, but yes, I came a long way from my very grainy 120p videos when we could barely see us walking down the hallways of Gen Con to where we are now, where it's a little bit more cinematic, and I'm learning as we go through like online tutorials and stuff. So I'm
That's
just
awesome.
I'm just proud how far I've gone since the very beginning, which is the good old days of just
I'll bet.
raw footage to
I'll
where we
bet.
are now. There's a
I'll
lot of
bet.
opportunity to learn from other
I
people
love
too.
that. And then, so what would you say is your favorite type of content to make or shoot? When do
Yeah.
you like, you know what, all this editing is totally worth it because this brings me joy.
Yeah, besides, like the number one lately has been vlogs, obviously, but I still do enjoy deck profiles. I was very into interviewing some of the top people, like in other card games, if somebody got
Mm-hmm.
first place in somewhere or like a top
Yeah.
eight, the top 32, I really love to pick their brains.
Yeah.
I see myself as like, I'm a competitive player, but also casual too, but I'm a little bit better with like the analytics and the theory and
Okay.
meta like questions. That part, like I understand like what the best decks are, what the cards to counter for, and I could kind of maneuver myself. So I
Yeah.
think it was easier for me to ask like pro players specific questions because this isn't like the normal like, oh, why did you play this card, or why did you like this
Yeah.
card? I would ask them, be like, so this card is good in this situation. Why did you decide to play 2 versus 4 or something like that? So like
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that, picking the brains of like people who made these decks really really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing that since the beginning of Naruto, and I do like doing my own deck profiles too because I like showcasing like the spicy builds and the fun
Sure.
builds, and I like having people like experiment that as well. So
Nice.
as much as I love blogging, deck profiles is also up there. But lately, because of Lorcana and the community, vlogs has been like my number one thing because I just
Nice.
like capturing everybody's like experiences there, their emotions, the ups and downs, and the behind the scenes stuff, and just a good vibes with everybody. Like that's
Yeah.
been lately my favorite type of content.
Nice. And of course, like as we've already said, this community is amazing. Watching all of your interviews from like the DLCs, I don't
Hmm.
even know how you find the time. Honestly, like I, I'm just like, oh, that's right. Wow, yeah, no, that
Yeah,
was a thing. Like I remember watching you literally like interview like five people
in
in
between
like
rounds.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, I put on
Oh
my
my
phone. I
god.
was like, I know we got a game 3, but give me like 6 minutes. Zan's over there. He's gonna go to like the main table, but I just gotta catch him real quick. I'll be right back.
That's commitment right there to your craft. So like I definitely need to get better in that front, but this is why I do my series because everyone's got their niche. I'm still shy like asking people.
Oh yeah. Oh
So and that's kind of like half the battle, right? I feel like
yeah.
once you've asked them, you could totally vibe at that point. But yeah, dude,
Yeah,
good
because
on you.
I didn't start interviewing people till I think Continentals, and that was my first time meeting a lot of you guys there too as well.
Yep.
And I was like, let me go do like an interview thing, and I'll interview some of the pros. And it took me so long to like go up to people. I think I just started off with some of the content creators that I knew.
Yeah.
I think the scariest one was like Ed Chu because he was like his whole demeanor is just so serious, and it's
Yes.
hard to make him like crack a smile. And just like seeing him is just so intimidating. Like he's
Yep.
obviously one of the best players at that time. So when I approached him, I was like, "It's okay. I'm a big fan. It's okay if I interview you for, my YouTube blog, this or that." Sure, like what made me a little bit more confident was that we were the same height, so I didn't feel like he was towering over me. Like
Sure.
if you can imagine, like one of the best Lorcana players just like towering over you, like if it was Cole, like Cole's super tall.
He is
He's
tall.
like looking down at me and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the best player in the world, blue, red, whatever. I'll answer 3 of your questions if you pay me $10 or something."
Oh my
Like
goodness.
I felt a little bit better. I like to play around.
I love
But I was a
that.
little more confident when you talk to people, and being able to see him crack a smile in one of my jokes kind of just gave me more confidence.
Yeah, of
So
course.
it's kind of like a whole learning thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, thank you for that. Now, flipping back to the game, right? So we talked about how you come from an extensive background of TCGs. So obviously
Hmm.
your transition to Disney Lorcana is a little easier in terms of learning and kind of grasping, another TCG because a lot of them are pretty similar in terms of what's the word I'm looking for? Mechanics. There we go. So you're at Gen Con. I think Sarah mentioned you guys were able to do a starter event, or what is
Yeah,
it? Okay.
I think it was very simple because they
Okay.
didn't have a lot of products going around and
Right.
everything.
Right. 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 And then obviously League didn't start till the game physically came out
Yes.
later that month, right?
Hmm.
So you guys went to League.
Right.
Was it kind of immediate, or how did that come about in terms of like y'all's involvement to like socially playing at
So
a
for me,
store?
I wanted to jump in right away. I was
Yeah.
just really excited with the game. I wanted to see how competitive it was and see how the players were in the community. I
Sure.
tried to go to the pre-release event at one of my friend's
Oh,
store because I knew him from Dragon Ball and he
okay.
opened up a store recently. So I
Nice.
was like, "Hey there, is there any openings for your shop?" And he said, "No, it all got booked up. It was like 32 players or something like that." So it was a very strict like cap limit, which is fine because that was the size of his store and stuff. But
Sure.
I think just the demand was so high.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, if you ever get an opening, let me know. I was actually working at a nearby town because I was helping out another store at that
Okay.
time. A couple hours before my shift ended, he messaged me. He was like, "Hey, there's a spot open for a pre-release event. Would you like it?" I said, "Yes, I'll be there right after work." So I
Oh.
left work early. I said, "Oh, I'm not feeling too well. My stomach's kind of hurting." But I was like, my stomach's hurting because I was so excited to play Lorcana for the very first time. It was a starter deck event, and I think he gave out 2 extra packs.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
so that was my first event. It was a pre-release thing, and I think I ended up getting third place. But I ended up getting first place in my head because I pulled an enchanted.
There
Right?
you
That was
go.
the first enchantment I pulled, and it was Elsa. So yes, I could not at that time we
Wow.
didn't know the value of Elsa really. Like we didn't know it was going to shoot up. We didn't know it was going to be like the Charizard of like the set. But I was just excited to pull like an enchantment. I was like, that's really cool. I got documented, I vlogged it and everything, so it was really a fun event. And that was my first event. And then with me and Sarah, we have another locals that we went to. Kind of started off. They're kind of a little more casual, which was nice.
Yeah.
People's first time there, so it was a nice way to kind of usher her in slowly because we weren't sure how competitive this game was going to be,
Sure.
especially being Disney.
Sure.
So luckily, we noticed like certain stores a little more casual than others, some stores a little more competitive. So we kind of just picked somewhere like in between, which is luckily the 2 locals that we go to. They're kind of like in between that, where it's like
Yeah.
you get a little bit of competitive players, we mix with some of the casual players.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I obviously coming from Orlando, we see similar things, right? Where
Mhm.
we're big enough near a metro city that depending on where you go, you either have the competitive ones, you have some that are in
Yeah.
between, and it's good that there's like a healthy, I know not everyone's fortunate, but it's good that you guys had a good experience, and we're fortunate to have one here in the Orlando area as well. So, well,
Mhm.
good. So obviously, this is, as you already stated, this is something that you guys can do together, whether at home with play with each other, or then of course from a
Mhm.
social aspect. Now, as far as your game style, coming from other TCGs, would you say your play style stayed the same, similar in terms of Disney Lorcana? So, are you control, aggro? What's your play style for the first couple of sets
Yeah.
of Lorcana?
So I think naturally I'm a little bit more aggressive because I don't have the brain capacity to think for 50 minutes every round and just to be like, I'm going to ink 2 cards and I'm going to ramp 5 cards and then I'm going to pass or something like that. So I think naturally I'm a little bit more aggressive player, but in reality, I actually like playing all kinds of decks.
Sure.
I'm a deck builder at heart, and
Mm-hmm.
that's one of my favorite things about the card
Yep.
games is me being able to build decks. I'm sure Sarah told you I build all her
Yep.
decks and
Yep.
stuff, and then she tries it out, and we kind of figure out what card she likes and not, and takes it out. But for me, I really like to experiment different decks, and
Nice.
I kind of it just stems from just me being unique and different. I just want to figure out if there's any other lines of play that could kind of like throw people off or catch people off guard, or no one's tried this deck out before, so maybe they'll make a mistake against it because they don't know how to play around it. So I'm like that kind of player where it's like I
Love
want to
it.
try something different. I want to play outside the meta and see if this could like break hearts,
Yeah.
in a good way. But like just find a different kind of like lane
Yeah.
for the decks. That's what I like to do. I like to brew up spicy decks. I like to play different things. I'm not necessarily a super meta player, but at the DLCs, I really try to pick like a meta deck. In reality, I'm like a spicy deck builder person, and I'll lean a little bit more on the aggro side.
Nice. Nice. Maybe one day we'll see one of your brewed decks, at the top of a DLC. So I'd love
Hopefully,
to see it.
one day, yeah, yeah,
Awesome. Well, speaking of DLCs, let's talk about some of those involvements. Now,
sure.
how many have you guys gone to? It's been a few.
Yeah, we went to Chicago back in the
Yep.
day when the first DLCs right after Atlanta, so that was our first one. We didn't go to anything else throughout the season, and then when it picked back up to the DLCs in Milwaukee and
Hmm.
Richmond, that's where we went to. So 3 official DLCs and then one official Worlds event, which a couple of us went down there to Florida, a little FOMO, but we took it as a vacation. And actually, I don't think Sarah mentioned this too, but like we also went there for Epic Universe. I know it's like a Disney Lorcana
Oh.
topic, but they just opened like a month before. So it just
Ah.
also worked out that Epic was also brand new. So we did that part for like a day or two,
That's
and we're like, this
awesome.
was a pretty cool part. But then Worlds is happening across the street, so let's just go stroll down there, hang out in the lobby, see if anybody needs like a water break or something, or any anybody needs any nutrition, be like, oh, I got you, don't worry about it. See if Liam needs to change his like suit or something like that. I
Oh my
brought a spare one.
goodness.
But yeah, like to our surprise, they were very welcoming. I mean, like, shout outs to Ravensburger and stuff. I know it was a private event for intentional purposes, but they were very nice to, a lot of us who were there visiting, who were in town, and they were just very, very nice about it.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that and I know that they had this viewing area most so for like the family members and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but it was nice that they allowed anyone who was kind of just strolling in the hotel ballroom wing. Actually, that's what I wanted to say.
hmm
They got to sit and just kind of watch, and that was fun because it did
yeah,
take me back to a DLC where they have like the viewing areas, right? And it felt
yeah,
very similar, even for that small moment, for those of us who were lucky enough to be there. Obviously, me being a local, that was easy for me to do. I love the fact
hmm
that you guys still kept it as a vacation, right? I would have, hated to then like hear from you guys. Oh man, we almost could have gone, and then if we heard this happen, we would have regretted it,
yeah,
kind of thing.
right. And I'm
So
kind of glad it happened just because like it gave me so much hope and a glimpse of what the future Worlds event could be because of how much production was used on there. Like
this is
just
true.
seeing like the lights and the production
Yes,
quality. Obviously
yes,
Tate doing his thing with like
yes,
photography and video. Just to see that level so concentrated in a small room, and like a lot of the Ravensburger reps and everything, they were just so
yes,
focused on the players and everything, and they're
yeah,
so like attention to details and stuff.
yeah,
Like I was like, man, this is just a little hump. That's obviously we're going through some struggles here or there,
yeah,
but it's for the long haul. And once they figure this thing out, it's just going to be an incredible event once it's open to the
yes,
public. So it just gave me that
yes.
much more excitement to look forward to in the
Absolutely.
future.
Absolutely. And then even continuing to talk about like just the whole setup. It was so for those who weren't there, it was legitimately in like one of those half ballrooms. And
Yes.
even though it was not in something as big as like a Toronto or Chicago,
hmm
for those who've been to those GLCs, it was literally half of both of those.
Yeah.
But they were able to fit literally everything. There was
Yeah.
a section for the interview, right? Like obviously when you guys see it on
hmm
camera, you're only seeing the one thing, but like we got to see the whole
Yeah.
setup, and it was super cool. And like the fact that they were able to do so much with that small space
Yeah.
was so
Very
cool.
impressive.
Very, very
hmm
impressive. And like to your point, we can only imagine what they're gonna do if when, hopefully, they open it
Yes.
up to to
Yeah.
more people.
And this is only year. That was only year two, seeing all that like unfold, and I'm like, wow, this is already from a puzzle company that's been doing just puzzles for 30 years to
Yeah,
have such a huge,
yeah,
progress from here. I know there's a
yeah,
lot of doomers out there, but like just seeing this as the first time from other card games, it's like, Pokemon took years for them to kind of come back. Magic, it took them many years also to kind of come back to as well. So
yeah,
it's I have a lot of hope for this game just because of how
yeah,
much improvement they've been making every single step of the way, especially in DLCs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, here's hoping. Obviously we're
Yeah,
still very early. We still have a couple. Well, actually, not even a couple. We have a lot of DLCs left, as well as
yeah,
CCQs for this year.
right.
So we'll see how it goes. But we could only think positive. Just keep swimming, and hopefully we'll get to see all of our friends once again in Walt Disney World. Because I'm assuming
Yeah,
it's going to be Walt Disney World.
and the way they added so many events like in between time. I remember like half a year ago when they're like, this is what the schedule is going to be. If
Yep.
there's any space, we'll try to add any. And then they added like 10 different events all across the world. And I'm like, to add that in a short amount of time,
Yeah.
to find the space, to find
Yeah.
the organization, all that stuff, like that's not on purpose. Like it was
Yeah.
on specific terms. So I'm very happy they were able to cater to that,
Yeah.
even if it's just CCQs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the fact that they open it up to other markets, like we've had a few in the Asian market. Has the Philippines one happened yet? No, right? No, I don't
No,
think
but
so.
they haven't announced it yet, and that's what
Okay.
me and Sarah are waiting for. So
Yeah.
hopefully once they announce it, we're able to go. Because that's one place we do want to go is DLC Philippines. I think it might be around June. I think that's what they said. So
Uh,
hopefully, hopefully.
no, well, good luck. I mean, I know that's
It'll
one
be
that
like
a
300 degrees
lot.
there, but
Yeah.
it'll be hot. But I
I
don't know how
mean,
we'll be cosplaying there. I might be Tipo. I might be Tipo. I told JDZ Quest to cosplay as Tipo. The next event, he said, "I'm gonna get canceled." He's like, "Bro, if I do that, I'm gonna get canceled. I'm gonna leave it to you." And I'm like, "Thanks, thanks." I was like, if Tarzan comes out, I was like, something. It's gonna be
there
hot
you
and
go.
warm in the summer.
I,
We need to switch our cosplay ideas.
would be funny. Oh my goodness, Tipo, the legend. Oh man,
I
that's
know,
so
I know.
funny.
Win games.
Now, let's kind of transition to, back to the content creation thing.
Yeah.
And you have been very lucky to do some card reveals. Congrats. Obviously,
Thank you,
it
thank you.
is, in my opinion, and I know in a lot of, people who are in the content space or even people who just follow Disney Arcana, that's a big milestone and a big achievement. And
Sure.
walk through, kind of like your headspace, when you found you have your first card reveal, which was, and we'll talk about your riddles and things like that.
Sure.
So you get your card, right? You have to keep it a secret for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then, we got a plan on how to reveal it. So walk me through the emotion initially, when you got your first card reveal, and then just how
Right.
you went about, creating the reveal itself.
Yeah, like this was something I wasn't expecting so much. Like I knew in the beginning, couple sets where some of the content creators were getting reveals. I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool to get one of those one day. I knew it would probably happen. I would just have to keep, grinding, keep doing what I was doing, and maybe one day I'll get noticed and everything. And then when I did finally get a call for it and a message through it, I was very like emotional. I said, me? I was like, I don't even know what I did because I was just doing the same thing that I've been doing, posting
Yeah.
stuff. I'm new to Instagram too, surprisingly. I've had it for maybe a couple years for my personal account, and I would just put like food stuff there or
Yeah.
vacation travel. But I was never tech savvy like the new generation is. Like I grew up like MySpace and like even all that stuff. Like I wasn't too tech savvy to how they are now with TikTok and Instagram. I just made a TikTok and I'm like I don't even know what I'm doing on it.
Hold on, you
So
weren't writing code in MySpace?
no,
I mean,
not at all, not at all. I mean I copied the codes, but I never written the code. So I was like
fair,
I was never too engulfed in that. But
fair.
yeah, like just the content stuff. Um, I was very surprised because I was like, I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm just posting up memes. I'm sharing stuff, whatever everybody else is doing. I guess maybe somebody picked up that I really enjoyed Aladdin because I noticed with my last two card reveals it was Aladdin theme. And when I got a message saying that I was going to be doing a character called Prince Ahmed, I actually had mixed emotions. I said, Prince Ahmed? I was like, this dude has like 5 seconds of airtime. I was like, I don't think anybody remembers him. And I had to watch back and be like, is this the guy that Jasmine was like trying to, or that was trying to marry Jasmine? And I had to watch that scene again. I was like, this guy's hilarious. This could actually work. This could actually be a good reveal. I was like, why didn't I get Aladdin? That would have been really cool. But obviously, I was still very happy and fortunate for any type of card reveal.
Of course.
But yeah, I told Sarah, I was like, dude, I got like a character that nobody knows. But Disney fans like you obviously got that when I did like my little teaser thing right away. The more that I looked into the character, I was like, this guy's actually pretty nice because like he has a very specific part in the movie,
Yeah.
and he's hilarious. He's
Yes.
funny, and that kind of relates to like what I am. So I was like, what am I gonna do for the reveal? Like I don't know how to approach this character because many people don't know him. Should I do like some kind of like question thing? And the original, I think, storyline was gonna be who is doing this. There is a certain content creator who doing like a bunch of like questionnaires, and I basically invited like Liam and who else did I have? I think it was Baker also a long time ago. There was a couple content creators in the space already that I said, hey, did he want to do this video with me?
Yeah.
And maybe we could figure out a time. But unfortunately, like a lot of the timing was off because they were doing their own reveals. I think Liam was building like I think he was doing his
Was that the race
vanilla
car one?
review.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So that took a lot of his time, so he
Yeah.
wasn't available too as well. So it was going to be a totally different um, shoot compared to what I did now. So I was like, okay, I got to do it by myself. I'm trying to think of things to do, and I was like, what if I make it to a game show, because a lot of people don't know who this character is, and the main question was going to be like, who is Prince Ahmed or who is this? Okay, let me think about things. I kind of was searching on like if there's any other game show things online, and I found this Jeopardy thing on YouTube, and they had an Aladdin theme that was based off the Broadway Aladdin, and
Yep.
they're asking a lot of the participants about different Broadway Aladdin questions. I said, "Oh, this is perfect. Let me take some clips off here, and then I'll make my own to it." And then I
Yeah.
just added my own like little flair to it, and then at the end, blah blah blah. Who is this character? I did my little voice as best as I could, and then I just turned it into like a card reveal where it showed who the character was. Only because I was like,
Amazing.
nobody knows him, but now they do, now they will, and they will never forget how his outfit is because he's out there. He's out there.
I mean, listen, for the Disney fan like myself, he is very important to the storyline, right? Like he obviously is
Yeah,
an antagonist to Aladdin, and then he turns around and then he's, just kind of like door shut behind, so Jasmine said, heck no.
yeah.
Right? And
All these
I
rich suitors and stuff, like that's not me. He doesn't really care about the money and everything like that.
exactly, exactly. So, and honestly, great reveals. And then you had the Raja reveal.
Yeah,
And Prince Ahmed made a return. And honestly, I laughed so much at that one because I love that you committed to the bit of Prince Ahmed in that
right, sure.
secondary reveal, right? Like, so did that one come easy to you? Like, how did that one come up?
That one actually was a surprise because I wasn't sure I was going to get a card reveal so soon. I think it was not the next set, but the set after,
Yep,
and I wasn't sure what I was going to get, and it was Raja, and I said, "Oh, it's on Aladdin theme,"
yep.
and then I noticed like his mouth had Ahmed's underwear on it with like a lore counter. I said, "This is the best transition is to continue my story from Prince Ahmed." I'm pretty sure they did that intentionally because I think they do
I'm
maybe some card
sure.
reveals for certain creators on
Yeah.
theme, on brand. It's really
Yep.
cool. I appreciate that too as well. So I was like,
Yep.
this is awesome. I told whoever gave me that line, I said, Prince Ahmed's coming back. Thank you so much. And I knew right away, I was like, I got to do a skit now for Raja. And this was my
Yep.
first time having a green screen, by the way. Like this was equivalent to like learning a brand new thing. Like I never
Wow.
did green screen before. We had to order out off Amazon and we had to do all these like adjustments to it. I didn't even have the right lighting for it, but we just
Wow.
shot it. It was like a C tier movie, which is fine because I think that kind of makes the whole charm of it. Like I could edit videos, but the setting, like I
Yeah.
was like, okay, like I want it to look like Inkborn Heroes. I want it to look like these guys. Like I look up to them because like the production
Yes.
quality is so good. But
Very
I
good.
also humble myself because I never came from the background of like any type of history of that. So it
Right.
was a lot of this stuff is just like learned on my own.
Learn as you go.
So I was like,
Correct.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll just go as we go. So I thought it was just funny how it was just kind of like one of those like movie clips that you just film like in the backyard or something like that, which I think it just made it better overall. And I just had a lot of fun with it. I kind of wish we had like our own dog, but shout outs to Raja. Raja, the actor, was actually Sarah's like coworker's dog,
Oh.
but we weren't able to. Sorry, cat.
Yeah.
We weren't able to film in the same place. So we had to do some like little fancy edits here or there and just make it happen. But I thought it was really fun, and
Came
I
out
was
great.
like, I'm just gonna have fun with it. And the comedy aspect side I like a lot, so I'm trying to put that more out in the content that I do too as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And then you've even brought that cosplay to a DLC. So you continue
Yes,
to bring that character to life, and I love it. One of my favorite photos is you as Prince Ahmed, and then Enchanted Kim. With
yes,
her like,
yeah, exactly. Yep,
exerted princess look.
yes, yes. I know that's funny. I mean, like, yeah, stuff like that I think is a lot of fun, especially the cosplay aspect, like being able to bring that to life as like even a card reveal. It's very
Yes.
specific, but like I think it's fun because everybody has their own like story behind
Yes.
what they do. Like
Yes.
if you're a DLCs, you're a competitive player, that's all you do, that's all you want, that's fine. But there's that whole social aspect where you want to meet people, you want to have a fun time, you want to vlog, you want to cosplay, you want to share like different things. And I think that's really cool about the game is that it's not
Yep.
just strictly play cards,
Yes.
for the whole day, 10 hours, and then go back to your hotel room. Like there's so much more layers to Lorcana that I think is opens up the doors for this kind of stuff to
100%.
happen. All the shenanigans, all the underwear being shown, and all the people meetings. It's just it's fun time.
I love that about just nerdom, right? The fact
Mhm.
that even if it's not one franchise, like people have even blended different franchises, right? Like they have nothing to
Yeah,
do with each other, and our creativity has no bounds or no limits, and
right.
it's just fun to see the expression through costume. And Sarah and I obviously talked a little bit about that for her,
Mhm.
and it's just great to see you both also share in that, right?
Yeah,
Your cosplays, they may not always coincide with each other, but you guys are true to the characters you like and the stories you want to tell, right?
right,
My
right.
favorite one of yours, aside from Ahmed, is the Powerline one. That
Yes,
was
yes,
amazing. The guitar, the props.
yeah. The
It's just
guitar.
it's that was awesome. So,
Yeah, a lot of that is made by Sarah. She does all my
yep.
costumes and everything. I just try to look as pretty as I can, try to put a little bit more makeup on, but in the end, all that stuff, all that hard work is Sarah's because she has that artistic side of her that I can't touch and I can't
Aw.
emulate. But I try my best to at least be a nice model for it and
Ah,
everything.
was cosplay also something that you had done before you guys
Yeah.
were dating, or was that always what came first, right? So like, have you always had it and then you both shared that love, or you started it because she did it?
I think I started it more because she did it. I wasn't cosplaying so much beforehand.
Got it.
Um, But as the game grew on, and even before that, we
Yeah.
cosplayed at like different conventions, like comic book conventions.
Yeah.
So we'd do like Stranger Things, and we'd do like other like anime stuff. WandaVision, we did Wanda and Vision. So that was fun. Like it was like a cute like couple thing. But then when Lorcana came out, we were like, okay, let's go try this out too as well. It's
Sure.
obviously cosplay and fashion, I think, are just natural for Disney.
Yeah.
So it's just only a matter of time for maybe the game will pick that up where it's
Yeah.
like it's normal to see, maybe a tenth of the room dress up Disney bounding or cosplay. So we felt like this was a perfect place to experiment and try different things, and especially with the different types of artwork that's
Yeah.
designed, especially like the Bloodborne characters. Now it's like you could picture Disney characters that you've never imagined before,
Fair.
and kind of be very creative, like the Tinkerbell stuff that everyone's doing, and there's so many like options for people to try and cosplay. So I think
Fair.
that's the fun part about this game and dressing up for it.
Got it. Got it. It's great for self expression, and I know you kind of talked
Mhm.
about that on Enchanted Kim's latest video, so that was fun. To kind of see snippets,
Yes.
I got to watch the whole thing.
Oh, that's okay.
But
It's a long too. But
uh,
I'm glad more people are doing long form content like this because I think it's needed. It's needed.
cute. Yeah, it's a lot of respect. Like I've kind of told you before, it's editing is no joke. And I know we've had the conversation about like 3 a.m. edits, and hey, I get it. It's basically a part-time secondary job,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
anyone who could do it, I have mad respect for you. My content long form is a little easier in that I just hit record, and hopefully we've got maybe a few tweaks. Yours are like
Oh, sure.
full
Yeah.
on productions.
The, the vlog is a work in progress.
It's a
Yeah.
lot.
There's a lot going on.
It's a lot. But we appreciate it, and even your teasers, like your little commercials, if you
Yeah.
will, are super fun,
I
and then
love
like
doing
the
those.
music, yeah, super fun. Now, do you have any advice or words of wisdom for anyone who also wants to get into long form content, whether it's more of the vlog variety, any type of long form content? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I think the number one thing a lot of people are just like hesitant on is that I think they focus too much on like prolonging the process of the whole thing and being worried about how it's going to look at like in the first maybe couple months that you're at, which is natural. Like a lot of people get nervous, like they
Yeah.
want things to be perfect, they want things like the audio to be right or like the visuals to be good, and they want to make a good first impression. But if you look at like all the other content creators out there, and even like other spaces, like even other industries, like their first videos are probably way more embarrassing than anything that anybody could come up with. Like my first video too, again, the 120p quality and my voice, like my voice back then was it sounded like Mickey Mouse because it was a much higher pitched voice. I don't know if that's because I was much younger, but it was horrible. Like I don't know what I was doing or saying, and my edits were so bad, and like some of my sound effects would be too loud, and like sometimes my voice would be too low. So a lot of it is just like experimenting as you go, but you won't know that until like you basically hit record and you just do it. Like that's the harsh reality of it is that you're gonna have your first couple of videos not be perfect, and that's okay. But that's the part of the learning process in any type of like industry or any type of thing that you're learning, is that you're gonna always have the learning curve is always gonna be starting from the bottom, going up. And as long as like you improve something every single time, like you could just upload something simple, like a 10-minute vlog of your day, or even going to an event, or if you like doing those Comic-Con events, I'd probably recommend try vlogging it, go to like your favorite vendors, or just talk about things that you like. Find something that you think you're going to be really excited about and that you're really passionate about, and then just like record it. And try to go there. Like there's a lot of videos out there that people like going to the gym, they like recording that. If that's like your motivation thing, do that now. Go to your locals. If you like recording your locals, that's totally fine too. And just say, hey, this is my locals. How's everybody doing? What deck are you playing today? Something small. And then from there, you can kind of like pick out like where you need improvements on. Because again, you're not going to start off perfect, but the point is to kind of improve every single step of the way, whether that's your script, or whether that's your audio, or even like turning the camera at a specific like angle. Like there's so many things that you can learn, and you're not expected to learn it the first day. Especially with long form videos, there's a lot more things to learn in terms of like editing and whatnot. But something like this is a little more simple. So even if you want to do like a long interview chat, that's also not bad because it doesn't require too much editing in certain ways, unless you want to add like a whole bunch of special effects and everything, which might overdo it. I like the more natural kind of sit down talk like this that we do. But yeah, it's basically you got to start somewhere, hit the record button, and then just pick something out of the video that you feel like you could learn and improve on, and then just keep working on every step of the way.
Yeah. But the most important thing, and something that I kick myself for, is just hit record. Just start.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Just do it. It's so cliche, but like I think one of my biggest content creator regrets is not starting sooner, right? Because of the what ifs and the hesitations and the what if people don't like it, and just do it.
Right. Yeah.
You
you do get nervous a lot, especially if it's uncharted territory that you're like talking. Speaking is not easy too. Like for me, in school, I was not an extrovert like how I might seem like now. Like I was never anybody who enjoyed speech class. But in college, I kind of forced myself. I joined different clubs. I was kind of more involved with stuff, speaking in front of the camera. Was a little bit more easier for me. So like it was just something that you just had to get used to. Yeah. And even now, you could just maybe record yourself talking on the phone, through your phone, and then just seeing how you react to that too. So a lot of it is just experimental. Yes. But know that you'll get better every single time over time, because it doesn't take perfection overnight. So you'll get there eventually, and there's still a lot of things to learn. But don't sweat about it. The most important part is you start, and then you go from there. Yep.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah.
And hopefully we've inspired at least one person in this video.
Hopefully. Maybe Sarah. She started off very shy. We'll get her more on the blog. We'll put her behind the camera.
There you go. Oh yeah, I told her I would talk to you about that. We got to get her on the opposite side of the camera. So.
Yeah, she's shy, but now no hiding.
Exactly.
No turning back.
Exactly. Just pretend that it's recording you, but it's actually recording her. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Actually, because I like vlogs, I actually watch a couple of vloggers for Disney World and Disneyland. So there's a couple like content creators that I do follow, and I do enjoy how they capture the parks and stuff. So that was also a big influence for me, vlogging the events and talking about it. So yeah, like I get inspirations from everybody, big or small, doesn't matter who. It's just I find something relatable, and I just record it and try to emulate it as best as I can.
And you never know what your audience is. I think one of the
Yeah.
best videos that I just loved watching after the pandemic was people walking through the parks and literally just recording
Hmm.
the sounds. And I would have
Okay.
never thought that this would be something I enjoy, and I did. And
Right.
so, we can come up with the silliest things, or we might think it's silly, but there's an
Yeah.
audience for it, right?
Yeah. Disneyland vlogs. I never knew I'd be watching the same person for years, even though I'm not going there like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would still watch them from time to time. It's like it's just entertaining. It's fun.
Yep.
Yeah. You just never know.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So let's do one or two fun, silly questions because I love to wrap up with,
Sure.
just kind of off the cuff Disney Lorcana or Disney related questions. So I asked this
Okay.
one to Sarah, so I'll give you the opportunity as well. What franchise character that we have yet to see or tease that you would like to see in Disney Lorcana? So character or franchise?
Oh gosh. Let me think about this for a second. Um, there's not too many characters that I think off the top of my head that I wish I had. Like Nightmare Before Christmas would be a really good one, and I'm surprised like how long it's taking. I'm sure like um, with the announcement of Winter Spell being pushed back, like they didn't intentionally push that back because of the scheduling. Like that was supposed to be released during the winter.
Right.
That gives me hopes that they want to try to do some theme stuff. So maybe during Halloween, maybe this year or next year or whatever they want to do, they'll try to incorporate certain characters. So I do
Yes.
like that they maybe are conscious about
Yes.
the specific release and related to the seasons because the winter spell thing that's like really fun. Obviously Frozen, that's just perfect. That just makes sense for that kind of release.
Yep.
But yeah, something for Halloween. I think there needs a little bit more like fun, dark themes like that. So maybe something centered around Halloween Town as a location. That'd be cool.
Ooh.
And Jack. So like everything like that, like Zero as an ally, obviously. So there's a lot
Yep.
of things that I see that specific franchise being brought up like specifically around October. So
Nice.
I don't know when the next set is after that. Attack of the Vine is what August? Is that
Yes.
August? Like September, August?
I think they said
So I
that
think
was
it could be
fall.
okay. So the next one could be like around November or like pre-release like end of
Yeah.
October. Maybe
Maybe.
that might be this year. But I know from the development crew and they're like, oh, I can't wait for even when they were teasing Powerline in the very beginning when they showed this at GenCon, like how
Yeah.
excited they were, but they couldn't say that like 10 sets later that this was coming out. Like I'm just like thinking how much more ahead they're
That's
thinking for this
true.
game,
Yeah.
which is really cool to know. But I like that, and I also just like the niche characters like Prince Ahmed. So I hope like more of the characters that are unappreciated,
Yeah.
maybe more different types of like
Yeah.
animals and stuff like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Maybe we'll have like a whole section of
Yes.
those.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my niche character, because I love Pocahontas, Wiggins. I'm so surprised we didn't get Wiggins or even Governor Radcliffe. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
okay.
and I just kind of already picture Wiggins holding like Percy's when he tried to give Percy the chicken or the like the thigh.
Okay.
I don't or him with the arrow.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
only because I think they just released Pocahontas for the
yeah,
first set, so
yeah.
maybe they didn't want to do so many characters, but
We'll get him
um,
eventually at this
next
point.
set. Yeah, yeah. Definitely. Like if you could add those niche characters, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure no one's gonna be left behind.
Yep. All right, and then final fun silly question to kind of wrap up. I'm gonna read this one so I don't mess it up.
Okay.
All right. If there was an action card, so let's say that the action itself is to negate another card. That could be
Ooh.
an action, a song, an effect, you name it, your card can negate it. All right? What
Okay.
would that action, song, effect, ability be that you're like, oh, I need to get rid of this ability?
Um, Ward, Prince John. Simple.
Did I know you were
Only
going to say
because
Ward?
Prince John is one of those toxic cards they've ever, like we don't like to talk about toxicity, but Prince John was pretty rough. It made a lot of people upset. Me being one of them, even though
Yep.
I enjoy the discard mechanic. Surprisingly, in other card
Yes.
games I like playing hand control and hand discard. But Prince John was on another level because
Yeah.
you weren't able to do anything with it. Like he just kind of was just sitting there,
No.
stationary, collecting his taxes from everybody, and all he did was just like make you lose cards just by not doing anything. So I think any static effect like that in a game where you can't interact with it,
Yeah.
like some people said there's some interactions, but there's
Yeah.
very like few. And,
It was
like
very
not
few.
every single color had that at the time to
Mm-hmm.
get rid of it. And now that we're playing Infinity, like I
Mm-hmm.
think Ward might just be too strong or something like that. Specifically, like Prince John, if they don't like limit or ban
Yeah.
it or something like that.
Yeah.
So if there's a way to have an action card that negates
Ward.
a specific character with
Yeah.
Ward,
Yeah.
then that'd be nice.
Yeah.
And Prince John would not be terrorizing the whole community.
I
But Ward
mean,
is, I think, one of the strongest
it is.
effects in the game, and when you combine it with something oppressive like John plus
Yes.
this card,
Yes.
and you draw, like that's too strong.
It
So
is.
later, Ward.
And it's funny because I'm on like the opposite side. I love me some Ward.
Okay,
My theory is if they haven't made something to counter Ward, they don't think it's as big of a threat. My opinion. But
okay,
then you have Bucky, who like
yeah,
literally just like broke the meta, literally.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I think Ward's a very cheeky mechanic. I totally like figured most people would say negate Ward. But where's the fun in
right,
that, guys? Where's the
yeah. It'll be like an 8 cost action card then to make it fair. So I mean, like you wouldn't be able to even use it. Like Prince John would discard your whole hand by then, but
exactly?
they try to make it so balanced that it'd be like a cost 8 or something.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I
So
mean,
you'd
never
have
say
your
never.
yeah, right.
Never
You
say
never know.
never, right? I truly, so my husband and I have talked about that. We're like, there's gonna eventually be something that removes Ward, and then just people are gonna run scared because now they're
Right.
Alice's and their other.
Or a cool card would be something centered around Ursula, where I liked how they made Ariel like when she was human form,
Oh,
Ariel, she can't sing.
yes.
So like if there's an Ursula action card that says like the certain character can't sing or lose singer X or whatever, that'd be pretty cool.
Ooh,
Or like
would be.
for the next turn your opponent can't sing songs, exert to sing songs or whatever effect that is, but on theme with Ursula.
I like it. No, that would be very on par with
Yeah.
Disney, right? Like, because we know Ravensburger loves to continue to synergize with the story
Yeah,
of the
and the whole
characters.
singing thing, the singing aspect, but being able to
Yeah.
like lose your voice through the action
Huh.
card so you can't sing, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Also
Well.
for Infinity, so you can't have these broken combinations like Sudden Chill and Prince John and all that. See, it all comes down to Prince John.
Oh
And
boy, Infinity. Infinity. Yeah.
I'm not thinking about it still because it's a lot.
It
It's a
is a
lot.
lot. It is a lot. Anyone who's playing or gonna register for Indie, may the force be with you, because
Yes.
we're at like 2,200 cards. I know some of them are duplicates and we have reprints,
Yeah,
but that's a
it's a
lot of
lot.
cards to
Right.
remember.
Yeah. But somebody like me, I enjoy it because I like the deck building aspect. So, but it is very overwhelming to kind of put things together and try to figure out
Yeah,
what cards people aren't looking at and
yeah,
stuff. So that's the fun part about this
absolutely,
format. If you're a deck
absolutely.
builder, yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you, AC. Now, where can the audience find you on socials? And of course, I will include those in the show notes page for easy access. But definitely want to give you the floor for that.
Yeah, if you want to see a lot of my long form content video, my vlogs, my deck profiles, my product openings, I do a lot of that on YouTube. So youtube.com/at AladdinsCastle23. If you like to see the more social aspect side of me, where I do a lot of like fashion and content relating like comedy and stuff like that, a little bit more personal, my Instagram is at AladdinsCastle23. And I just made a TikTok nowadays. All these new generation people gotta get on it. That's also at AladdinsCastle23. I'll try to figure that out and see what I want to do with that. But it'll be a lot of clips that's from YouTube and Instagram kind of put together.
And the TikTok is all about trends, so I got to see you doing more of those dances for sure.
Yes, yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. We're gonna hop on the trend. So we'll see what I could do with there. As long as my knees are fine and I oil it all up, we'll be good.
Fair enough. You got to get that stretch in, right? Fair enough.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you again, AC, for joining me today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, and thank you guys for being awesome community, and thank you for everything that you're doing. And I love these long form content videos, and I hope you continue doing it forever and ever until Lorcana
Aw.
is forever and ever.
Same to you. And thank you to the audience again for watching this episode of Boost Friend Fridays. We will see you in 2 weeks and stay enchanted.
Bye.
Bye. That's the